outside to the inside, it doesn't feel like a large boat. This 2020 Honda Pilot Black Edition should be illegal for night driving. It's a strong player in the overcrowded SUV segment, so we've got a lot to talk about today. My name is Dennis, this is For Life Test Drive, shall we? Well, if you didn't know, the Toyota Highlander would be the main competitor for this Pilot. And you're probably wondering, what would I pick? This Pilot or Highlander? But before I simply answer this question, let me give you the full picture. So you would have all the information and you can decide it for yourself. This is the base MSRP for this Pilot. You have 7 trim levels to choose, 8 colors, and it's really easy to pass 50,000 if you go with something like this. 2020 Honda Pilot Black Edition. So the first thing you will notice, this feels more like a smaller crossover. No, don't get me wrong, you have plenty of space, but it just feels more planted and comfortable. Planted and comfortable. More like a Honda CR-V or closer to the compact crossover. Not a Highlander, big, large, floaty boat. This is just a quick comparison. Something that blows my mind, how Honda managed to make this car look conservative from the inside and the outside, but at the same time make it functional. It all works here. Like for example, check out this driver's screen. It's actually a dash where you have engine temperature and fuel gauge, left and right. On the middle it's a big screen. So you have regular analog gauges, left and right, and on the middle you have this big screen. It's all connected together with the interface and design. It looks good. It's got a ton of features and settings inside. Another conservative note that you can see here, those controls for heated and ventilated seats, and for example those two covers for power outlet and USB. They look kinda old, and you won't see much difference here, for example if you compare to the 2016 model year. But at the same time, they made it work, and let me tell you how. First, touchscreen is super easy to use. It's bright, it's colorful, and it's very easy to reach. I actually saw a couple of opinions that this screen is not very easy to use, not intuitive. Well, my dear friends, you gotta park the car and then use the screen, because using any screen in any car while driving, that's the bad idea. And you remember I said about the 2016. Since then, they've been doing really good with stuff like Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and you see it here. It works like charm. You just plug your device, 10 seconds later you have everything up and running. It's never been a problem with Honda. And yeah, even cars with 100,000 plus price tag still got those issues. That's why I'm saying. A lot of car companies nowadays will offer you something like an app that you can download on your smartphone, and you'll be able to lock and unlock the doors, check the fuel status, do basic things like that. Honda has one, it's called Honda Link. But Honda took another step and they did another app. It's called Honda Cabin Control. So now your passengers can download the app, connect to the car, and they can control climate, they can play some music, and even sitting on the third row of seats, you still got all the controls. This time in your pocket. It's all possible because you got Wi-Fi hotspot, and for example this car uses AT&T network and an AT&T SIM card. To have all the connectivity, you can do system updates right on this screen. You can share the internet, your car can be Wi-Fi hotspot, so your passengers can enjoy the entertainment while you're driving. On the other side, it's got some room to grow when it comes to safety features. If you take for example this steering assist, don't get me wrong, those systems work, but a little bit too sensitive, to the point, borderline, a little bit annoying. For example, when you use lane keep assist and you just go a tiny bit off the lane, it starts shaking the steering wheel like crazy. Your first impression, wow, we're going sideways, haha, you have to do something. It creates the feel of unstable car, and that's where they went a little bit off the board. In my view, adaptive cruise control is too sensitive as well. It makes aggressive adjustments For example, if the car is gonna merge in front of you, it will brake really hard, and we did see a lot of other systems from other manufacturers where it's more smooth and refined. I think this is the same system that we used to see like 4 or 5 years ago, and they didn't change it, while other manufacturers already improved that. It is capable to take corners hard. Now the question is how it drives. Well, let's find out. You get really good feedback, and you can tell Honda did spend some time at the proving grounds making this suspension soft, but at the same time it's very smooth and it soaks up the bumps like it should, but at the same time it drives good. Doesn't feel like a 3-row large SUV. This 3.5-liter V6 engine will surprise you. This 9-speed automatic transmission is something that's really changing the game. Same car can be two different vehicles. You can use this econ for whatever reason, econ mode, I guess when the word eco is not so fancy. And you can swap between drive and sport on this gear shifter, if I can call it gear shifter, because it's a few buttons. So anyhow, I think this is the only part of this review where you don't have to listen to me, because Dennis can teach you even bad stuff. Well, put your foot on the brake, hold it just a little bit, touch the throttle pedal, get it to 2000 RPMs, wait, drop the brake, and I told ya, I was surprised. It's like brake, don't see the lane, yep. It's all over the place. Just now, this car saw the upcoming traffic, was nothing really wrong, and it decided to show you brake on the screen like emergency braking system was about to slam the brakes. You were just driving in 2-lane road, one in each direction. What's happening, Honda? Why are you so stressed? Relax, we're not that bad. Or are we? Okay, I'm looking at the dash and we just passed the 300-mile mark on our trip since we got the car. And after 300 miles, should I say 301, we've got 21.3 miles per gallon. I would say 60-70% of the time we were driving on freeways, and I don't think this is a good number. That's a beautiful engine, this is really good transmission, but I wish to see something more, like 24-25 miles per gallon. This would be a good number for a large 3-row SUV. So now let me show you the second and third row seats. That's it. That's all it takes. Alright. I guess we're sliding and looking. Now, wow! It is usable! Wow! There's also a bunch of settings for the middle row. You can slide it a little step at the time, and you're gonna get a lot of space on the back. Let's say you would like to set it up on the middle to give a little bit more room on the back. Now when you get inside, you slide the seat, you lock it, and that's exactly where this seat is gonna stop. Meaning, however you're gonna set up the center row, it's not gonna be changed by the push of the button. Which is kind of cool, because you can set up the seat one time and you don't have to worry about changing the setting every time somebody gets on the third row. So here it is. Let's say like this. So now you fold it, slide it, go back, lock it. That's it. Pretty easy. When you're over 6 foot, you always have one question. When you're gonna open the tailgate, how it's gonna be? Can you walk underneath? Well, here you go. Yes, I know what you have to do to make your Honda Pilot Black Edition, the most expensive option you can get with Pilot, more fancy. I think this is perfect. Like somebody always watching your car. there is something else that you have to keep in mind. Well, when it's a black car and you just park for a few minutes, like to grab a cup of coffee, you need to keep the AC running at the max. It gets warm so quickly. So now you want me to tell you what I'm gonna buy if I have the same price for the Highlander or Pilot? Well, in this case, definitely not Toyota. For the sake of conversation, both of them, Pilot and Highlander, have the same conservative design approach. But this Pilot is much more usable for everyday life. You won't see things like poor alignment in the interior, and it's way better in terms of driving experience. Just keep in mind, this 2020 Honda Pilot Black Edition might be too dark to drive it during the night time. Just kidding, see you next week.